What if I told you that the world as we know it almost never existed? What if the unstoppable force of the Mongol Empire, led by Genghis Khan, had swept across Europe, crushing kingdoms, rewriting history, and shaping a world where Europe was ruled by the Great Khan? The Mongols came dangerously close to taking over Europe. Their armies had already devastated Russia, Poland, and Hungary. They stood at the doorstep of Germany, France, and even Italy. But then something happened. Something that saved Europe from complete destruction. What if that moment never came? Today, we dive deep into an alternate history. What if Genghis Khan had conquered all of Europe? Would European culture and languages still exist? Would we all be speaking Mongolian today? Let's find out. To understand how Europe almost fell, let's go back to the early 13th century. By 1206, Genghis Khan had united the Mongol tribes and declared the foundation of the Mongol Empire. He quickly expanded westward, conquering the Shi, Xia, and Jin dynasties in China before setting his sights on Central Asia and Persia. By 1221, Mongol forces under Subutai and Jebei, two of Genghis Khan's most brilliant generals, had invaded Persia and the Caucasus. They then marched into Kiev and Rus, crushing the Russian principalities in brutal campaigns. In 1223, at the Battle of the Kalka River, Mongol forces utterly annihilated a coalition of Russian and Kipchak forces. The Mongols, however, did not push further west at that time. Instead, they returned east to consolidate their rule, but this was just the beginning. By 1236, Genghis Khan had died, but his son Ögedei Khan continued the Mongol expansion. He ordered Batu Khan and Subutai to launch an invasion of Europe. In 1237, the Mongols stormed through Russia, capturing cities like Ryazan, Vladimir, and Kiev. The once great Russian states were left in ruins. Then came the most critical year, 1241. That year, Mongol forces launched a three-pronged attack on Central Europe. March 9, 1241, the Battle of Liegnitz, Mongol forces, led by Kadan and Baidar, annihilated a coalition of Polish, German, and Templar knights. April 11, 1241, the Battle of Mohi, Batu Khan and Subutai crushed the Hungarian army, killing half of Hungary's nobility in a single battle. The Mongols had now broken through Europe's eastern defenses. Germany, France, and Italy stood next in line. The Holy Roman Empire was vulnerable. Even the Pope feared that Rome itself would fall. Then something unexpected happened. On December 11, 1241, Ögedei Khan died in Mongolia. Batu Khan, heir to the Western Mongol Empire, was forced to halt the invasion and return to Mongolia to participate in the selection of the next great Khan. Just like that, Europe was saved, not by strength, but by sheer luck. But what if Ögedei Khan had lived longer? What if Batu Khan had continued his invasion? Europe wouldn't have stood a chance. Europe in the 13th century was not prepared for an invasion of this scale. Most kingdoms were small and fragmented. The Holy Roman Empire was in constant internal conflict. France and England were engaged in wars of their own. The Catholic Church had power, but no real army to stop the Mongol advance. The Mongols, on the other hand, were a united, disciplined force. Their military tactics were unmatched. They used feigned retreats to lure enemies into ambushes. Their horse archers could fire accurately while riding at full speed. They had an advanced relay communication system, allowing orders to be transmitted across thousands of miles. Here's how the conquest could have unfolded. Germany falls, 1242 to 1243. The Holy Roman Empire's forces are crushed, much like Poland and Hungary before them. Mongol cavalry burn cities, reducing them to rubble. France and England crumble, 1244 to 1246. With Germany gone, the Mongols move west. France's feudal armies fail to unite. Paris is reduced to ash. The English longbow proves useless against Mongol speed. Rome falls, the Pope executed, 1247 to 1248. The Vatican's armies are helpless. The Pope either submits or is eliminated. Christianity's power is broken forever. Spain and Portugal surrender, 1250 to 1252. The Mongols, already experienced in desert warfare, take Iberia with ease. By 1255, all of Europe is under Mongol rule. A Mongol-controlled Europe would be unrecognizable today. The Mongols valued military and trade, not art or philosophy. The Renaissance, which sparked modern science and democracy, may never have happened. Mongolian becomes the dominant language. Instead of English, French, and German, Mongolian could become the primary language, with a blend of local dialects. A Mongol Empire ruling both Europe and Asia might never fracture, creating the largest continuous empire in history. No colonization of America. Without Spain, Portugal, and England rising as naval superpowers, Columbus may never have sailed to America. The history of the New World would be completely different. No Christianity as we know it. The Mongols were religiously tolerant but leaned toward Tengrism, Buddhism, and Islam. Christianity might have faded, replaced by Mongol religious influences. The world we live in today might have never existed. Even if the Mongols conquered Europe, history tells us that no empire lasts forever. Over time, the empire would face internal power struggles, revolts, and cultural shifts. The Mongols who ruled China became more Chinese. The Mongols in Persia became more Persian. Would the Mongols in Europe have slowly adopted European customs? Or would Europe have eventually fought back and reclaimed its land centuries later? History almost took a very different path. Would a Mongol-ruled Europe have been a golden age of peace or a dark era of oppression? Drop your thoughts in the comments.